Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today I wanted to do a bit of a discussion video talking about Boss Rush and kind of giving my thoughts and even in a weird way my review on the new mode that has now entered the game. Now Boss Rush is currently like an exclusive mode, or a limited time mode is the word I'm looking for, that is going to be in the game for I think it's like a little over 4 days in total from the release. It's going to go away for like a 5-day window. I forget the dates exactly, something like this, and then it's going to come back. So what it's kind of looking like to me is like essentially in a weird way like a weekend game mode. And I want to talk about like the good, the bad of Boss Rush, what my overall thoughts of it are, and let's go ahead and dive into that now. So drop a like on the video. We're gonna go ahead and dive into it, but drop a like on the video for me. I appreciate it. Boss Rush is a 5-player PVE event where you traverse your way in a small arena versus 3 different bosses, of which the first 2 are random. So the first bosses are Dreadnought, Avalugg, and Araquanid, which I have a really hard time saying. For some reason, I nailed it right there. The second boss is either Zapdos or Articuno, and the third boss is always Ready to Gigas. Now, this mode, when they announced it, I was excited about it. They announced like a leaderboard for it, and me and my friends, we were talking, and we were like, you know what, we're gonna grind this. We're gonna build a squad for it, blah, 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 and that's what we're doing. And I thought to myself, this is just going to come out, you're going to beat the hell out of the bosses, you're going to get some points, and you're going to go again, rinse, repeat. Not going to be hard, nothing to it really. You just play, rinse, repeat. I was wrong. It's actually kind of challenging. There's multiple difficulties to it. There's mechanics and strategies. And ultimately, I have found a truly a newfound respect and love for Pokemon Unite in a sense. This is a completely different way to play the game that we enjoy playing, and I think that this is something that's really, really good for the game, but it's way bigger than what we can even imagine right now, and that's what I want to talk about today. Boss Rush has essentially spawned what could be an entirely new reason and an entirely new future for Pokemon Unite. There is going to obviously be a demand for something that has a leaderboard like this, and there's already a huge demand for it. You can see it on the leaderboard with how many people are playing and how much time is being invested in this, and it's not all good though, and we're going to talk about that. But Boss Rush essentially is a mode that I truly think they did a really good job with, from the mechanics of the fight, from the way that they've implemented it with Unite squads, and giving Unite squads a bit of a purpose, but also just to the fact that it's an actual completely different game mode that has nothing to do with remote stadium and playing for score and stuff like that. That feels really fun and engaging. So Boss Rush isn't without its issues though, and I'm going to go on ahead and talk about those now. It is a bit of a really steep grind for the leaderboard. I really like it, but dude, it's like a 4-day straight grind essentially, and we had to just like push it super, super hard to try to get as many points on the leaderboard as possible. And while I do love the fact that it's implemented with the Unite squads, because it gives the Unite squads a massive reason to be used, I also do understand the criticism and the feeling behind like, well, it kind of gates people off of wanting to play it, because you can't really grind that leaderboard unless you're 5-stacked, and even more so than 5-stacked unless you're 30-stacked technically in a Unite squad. But I think that where my opinion would differ from, say, something like ranked remote stadium, because this is exactly the conversation I've had, and I almost sound like a hypocrite here, where my opinion differs from Boss Rush needing to be coordinated and, say, solo queue, duo queue shouldn't have to feel coordinated, is that this is like this big PVE event, and I just can't help but put myself back in like my World of Warcraft like MMO raiding days and think of the vast amount of like collaboration and effort it took to finish and complete a raid in an MMO, which took, you know, like joining a guild and having a guild leader and like organizing lots of people and getting everybody together. And I think that they accidentally did that. And I don't know if that was the intention, but they took a system that they implemented in the game, being Unite Squads, which is a mostly useless system, and they gave it some heart, and it gave it like a kind of a reason to be played. And I really appreciate it for that. That said, I do think that there should be a way to incentivize and maybe even better reward people that play solo. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I think that you have to create some kind of a, not necessarily a leaderboard, but some kind of a better incentive for playing it. You know, maybe if you get X amount of points, even just by yourself, X amount of points, it tracks your own solo points on the side. You can get certain rewards, things like that, because I don't think that having the boss rush mode be 100% like guild focused, Unite Squad focused is good for the role or good for the mode. But I do think having that in the mode is really important, because that's going to lead into the future of boss rush, which is what I also want to talk about. I think that boss rush could be a long-term thing, completely long-term. I think that it could be something that they continue to bring back. I think that it's something that they could continue to develop, and I think that this is a giant test for that, to see what the overall reception of it is, to see if people like it enough to continue playing it. You know, I've been asked a lot, you know, you've been playing nothing but boss rush, are you like how are you not burnt out from it? Well, to be honest, it's a challenge. It's hard. We're looking for new strategies. We're trying to figure out the best way to do it, and the way that I think that you keep that fresh is by continuing to develop it, just like any other kind of like live service mode. You continue to develop it. You come out with new maps for it, new arenas, new bosses that have different mechanics, and you continue to put a challenge in it. So right now, what I think I want from boss rush is mostly a better reason for solos to play it, or just for anyone to play it, really, because it is a steep jump to go from, you know, just playing in, you know, like a queue for it, and to playing with, say, like a full Unite Squad where you're all grinding points. Maybe they could track the world record run in game, right? Because my group isn't even really going for world record runs, because we're just trying to get like points per hour, because we're climbing the leaderboard and trying to put ourselves as high up as we can. But ultimately, I want to see them continue to push this mode and continue to develop it, because I think that it brings a lot to the game that, you know, you can't really anticipate how far it could go unless you kind of like open up your mind and say, you know what, I think that there could be a future here. So I would love to know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Some of the uniquest strategies have been coming out. We're constantly learning from other groups and people that we're playing with. We have 2 Unite Squads on the leaderboard playing for it, and constantly just testing things out, and inevitably or ultimately I hope that it becomes an inevitability where we can see the runs and kind of like click in and get more information, because information is power. So with boss rush, it would be great to be able to click on the Unite Squad that's doing the best and see what comp they're running and kind of pay attention to their accounts and things like that. I think that it would really drive the competition of boss rush up, and yeah, I love it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would definitely do appreciate it. As always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.